damage this turn. Problem is, the jail is just waking up on the other side anyway. Popgar as well! Oh,
and the Symphony drawn for next turn.
I was not even thinking about Popgar, but yeah, the 2 HP would have left the lowest target anyway. And that means now the board is going in with a jail and a hauler waking up. And now Fan Club can just start to pull Gamer RBG out of range. Small minions in play are very beneficial here as well, because they will help you to play around Popgar as an out. So every small minion here is worth its weight in gold. The hauler will get healed up above where your hero is going to, so won't end up being a factor. So I, for multiple reasons, like getting the clergy in play. I don't think there's any merit to going for the lethal with the damage, so I like that we have not entertained that thought process. Oh! Oh, that's so good! +8. Yes, please.
Come on.
Holy spring water just to face. Puts him out of range of the potential Symphony Popgar 1 sludge.
So there's now a 1-3 in play as well, which definitely tanks one of the sludges. Symphony, Popgar, and sludges don't end up being playable all in the same turn. Not enough mana to do that. No jail activation, but the Molten Giant does wake up again this turn. And no locations active for Gamer RBG on the following turn either. Oh, suddenly out of nowhere, Gamer's looking like a big favourite. Gamer RBG just drew 2 mana heal 8 off the top and it ended the game. Like,
The top decks this game have been absolutely nutty.
yes, they have.
This entire game has been nutty. This has been a really fantastic game. Okay, going for the Popgar.
Trolley discards one of the barrels for free. Very, very nice. Rarely seen as an interaction these days, but kind of one of the intended designs of the pack.
Gets to drop another Imprisoned Horror on the board. Another body to potentially soak up Hidana's damage, but also to threaten damage of his own.
And now Reska can trade and then Rest in Peace reses Reska.
Yep.
Which will swing this entire board state. I don't believe... Has a Molten Giant died yet for Photon? I don't think so, right? It's just been put in jail the entire time? So I don't think the res brings back. Yeah, just a 4/4. Yeah, perfect. That's a full clear. Just heal the face. And I think that is game, and Gamer RBG agrees. The fist bump, I think he's feeling comfortable in this game for the first time. And perhaps in this series for the first time. Gets his Armenthal back next turn as well, which is huge, by the way, waking up from the jail. Even if there was kind of some stabilization turn here. Which there can be. Has the jail for the 8/8, has Symphony to block or to clear the 2/6. But I think the Armenthal waking up is just going to represent too much. Gamer RBG also getting both of his locations back next turn.
6 with taunts. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Excuse me?
This is still just playing around Hadanis?
Oh, this is fine. Yeah, because of course the Armenthal has already used the remove option, right? So actually big minions in play makes a lot of sense. So you can actually just go to 3 and just ask Priest the immortal question of can you do 1 damage? Which no they cannot at any point in history. Thrive in the Shadows for Power Chord Synchronize is lethal here. If there is one remaining in the deck, which I believe there is. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. One was used on the Clergy early, and then one was used on the Sheriff, right? That's used on there.
No, yeah, correct.
That's no Melia! Wait! Into Magtheridon! Oh my god, it's all over! It's so
Oh my gosh! Gamer just jumped out of his seat and ran off screen. He is... Oh, he's back. He is celebrating. Absolutely celebrating. As he should. That was an incredibly well-played game to close out the series.
What an utterly ludicrous game of HearthStone that ended up being. I mean, I told you Priest was favourite the entire time. I don't know what we were worried about. Come on. I think Photon will be having nightmares over... I don't know. It still feels kind of correct to me, right? Because Sheriff gets punished by Powerful Synchronize, which there is only one left in the deck, right? And it's a discoverable out, yes, because they play Thrive, but they only play one copy of Thrive as well. If you just go for the Speaker Stomper, there's 2 copies of Location, there's 2 copies of Gem, and the Gem are discoverable outs as well. Potentially, although you'd have to spend a lot of mana on the spell to discover the Gem in the first place. But I think that does end up, regardless of how you look at it, that is the game-defining moment, right? The choice to go for Sheriff Barrelbrim over the Speaker Stomper on that crucial turn when he was trying to set up the lethal, because since that moment, it just became a very, very slow downward spiral of just losing the grip on the game as Painlock.
And as you said, very, very good recognition by Gamer to make a copy of it and use it to his own advantage. Oh, I love that celebrating at the end. But here we go, the bracket for Group C, as we see Gamer RBG take that decider match and close that out to go ahead and join Maxi Bond in the top 8 tomorrow.
Yeah, let's go. Really, really strong group overall, I think. Great mix of styles. Like, we've had some mega grindy games, like that game that we just watched at Priest vs Warlock was definitely not on the table to be that grindy, but ended up being incredibly grindy. But we also saw was the Gabby series with Overhill Priest against Druid, just going basically all the way to the last threats of the deck. And then we've also seen some combo deck showdowns. The one thing we haven't necessarily seen is just any board aggro so far, but there's an awful lot of Death Knights to come in the remaining group that we still have to cover. So I think we'll get that chalked off as well before the end of the day. So I think great variety, really exciting group overall. A couple of absolute banger games thrown in there as well. And Gamer RBG making it out, which means I am now 3 for 3 on group predictions throughout the weekend. So give us a count.
That's right. Well, there is still an entire group left to go, as you mentioned. So still a ton more action to go here at the casting desk today. So don't go anywhere. We'll have more HearthStone action for you right after this.
Это мой зов. Эта земля служит мне! Эти пещеры глубоки. Сладко, как мороженка.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the HearthStone Masters Tour Summer Championship. My name is TJ. I'm joined by the one, the only Neil Laurendabon. Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
I hope I'm the only one. I'm doing great. That was exciting, wasn't it? 2 health for about 6 turns or something. Just didn't die. Gamer getting through.
Yeah, wait. No, he was 2 health for many turns and he did die. Oh, okay. You were talking about Gamer RVG, not Photon. He was also 2 health and just didn't die for very many turns.
Enjoyed that one.
But yeah, that was a good one. Very cool ending to that one. And it was a rematch of the initial match for that group. And Gamer RVG coming on top of both of those to move on. But still, I would say untested against a wider field. Only had to beat a single player twice in order to move on. So curious to see how Gamer RVG fares once we get into the top 8 tomorrow. But now we're heading over to Group D, the final group to resolve. We had some matches happen earlier in the day, and Ogo and Nkuro were the 2 players that moved into that winner's match.
Absolutely, yeah. And Miss Smile and KT8298, as you see there at the bottom of the bracket, they still get a chance to get through, of course. Ogo and Nkuro is where we're going to be, I believe, though, TJ. Ogo, we're going with Ogo. We're not quite sure what name, so if anyone knows better, please let us know. We'd like to get it right. And Nkuro has been around quite a while, been in a lot of Masters Tours, but best performance in Masters Tour in 11 attempts was 5 and 3, which he did twice. So one of those players that's not necessarily transitioned from ladder play into really strong tournament play yet, but we've seen it many times before. Sometimes it takes people a while to start playing 4 decks at once.
Yeah, or it takes, you know, a while for yourself to get to that level where you're kind of passing the rest of the field, right? It's in relation to the rest of the field. But Ogo been playing Hearthstone for quite a long time. Favorite card in Talkie Biscuit. Favorite deck, Aggro Hunter. Cool. Cool. All right. Wow. Death Knight kicking things off right off the bat for Ogo. That Frost Rainbow Death Knight. Not many throughout the rest of the tournament, but we do have a few scattered around Group D. I believe there's 3 Death Knights out of the 4 players in this group, as well as 2 Shamans out of the 4 players in this group. So above average in terms of, you know, that different 4th deck, which you like to see.
Yeah, we are seeing 7 different classes in this match. The Druid is copied and all the others are different.
Yeah, which is very cool because it's not really something we've seen throughout the rest of the tournament. I mean, the decks have differed, right? We've seen different variations of Rogue, we've seen different variations of Shaman, we've seen different variations of Druid, and Paladin's Paladin, right? It's got a, you know, a core 25, and then you just go through your collection and whatever's left, whatever's golden, you put in as the last 5 cards in that deck, it seems sometime. But yeah, you mentioned Nkuro, many Master Tours in the books.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's have a look now. Favorite cards: Coin, Shadow Step, Azurite Spawn. I'm noticing a theme there. Can't quite put my finger on it. Oh yeah, it's road cards.
Oh yeah, you're right. What's our road cards? Insanity Warlock.
Back-to-face told you
Insanity
it's
Warlock.
favoured against everything, TJ.
Yep, it is. This is the non-tourist mage tourist version with the Eat the Imps and that what's the name of it? Party Fiend. There we go. Yep, Party Fiend.
And a cheeky little neophyte for anyone. There's often one slot in that deck if you take out the random tourist that enables your frosty stuff, and yeah, just decides he wants a neophyte in there. Got the double. Hasn't got the double lightstick.
Yeah, there's a few slots in that deck I feel that you can play around with. I've seen a lot of players go with the Symphony of Sins. Fizzle is a cut at times. Double tentacle, single tentacle, zero tentacles. I'm playing around with a number of Party Fiends, whether it's one or two. Small variations to the deck across the field, but the core is still there, and that's the fatigue ramp and the pop gar, the crescendos, and the conductors, and that's what we're going to be looking towards as we get into this first game.
Yeah, one of the tough things with building this particular deck, like the first, I don't know, 24 cards just put themselves in the deck, though, really. You need the harp, you need all the fatigue package, you pretty much need the virtuoso unless you're really brave. But then you get down to ETM, which isn't that great, and the problem becomes your pupils don't have it. If you do it like as optimally as you would like, you end up with very few spells in the deck. But you want your pupils to have extra crescendos, extra insanities. They want to be really good. And they're not really good unless you play some kind of garbage spells. That's why we get this Eat the Imp stuff. That's why we get the Frost package. Because we want to be putting crescendos in. Oh, and this is what we want to be doing with our pupils. Crescendos in. Because he probably doesn't. But here we go. The pupil, that is, we always keep crescendo.
Razzle dazzle.
Yep.
That's my input.
That's your input. Oh, look at this. He keeps the pupil and is rewarded instantly by getting pot gun. That's how you play this deck. Razzle dazzle again.
Missing a conductor, and then we're mwah.
You can draw that on 3. It's fine, or 4. It's okay. One of the great things about having the pop guard crescendo in your opener, apart from the fact that it's obviously an incredibly powerful combo, is you can go really, really crazy with your insanities and your conductors and stuff. You just don't care. You just throw them in and deal with 8 million later on. Oh, that is another card in there as a spell consumption.
I feel like it's a good deck.
Yeah.
That's the end. There's a lot in there, right? A good deck is not a great tournament deck. A good deck is not necessarily a good conquest deck. I think the deck very consistently does what it needs to do, but it's a little bit slower to get on the board as some others. It's a little bit slower to end the game as other board-based decks. It doesn't have the hyper longevity that some of the other board-based decks do, like Priest or Druid, the Ramp Dragon Druid. So it's kind of just middle ground across the board, but that consistency can help a lot, and the upside of like Razzle Dazzle is a lot, and they do have some finishing power, maybe not as much as other decks. But one of the cards being Mar Manipulator up there on the top, that's decent as well. So I think it's good. If I had built a lineup for this event, I probably would not have brought Death Knight, but it would have been close.
Yeah, I think I prefer the Frost list to the Double Rainbow list, as we're calling it this weekend apparently. Just because of that slightly better finishing